What is up, guys? Damn, flexing is freaking. I worked up a sweat, bro. I got a fan here and I got my aircon on. I could never be a bodybuilder, bro. I don't think I'd make the. I wouldn't make the posing, but we're not here to talk about oiling up and posing. We're here to talk about the balloon show. Nope. We're here to talk about the playoffs. MPL Philippines, season 15 playoffs. My favorite playoffs. Let's talk about it. Is this a recap? It's like we could call this a playoffs recap. Welcome to the MPL Philippines season 15 playoffs recap. All right, guys. So real quick, I just want to go ahead and say, I planned to do this a couple days ago, actually. Unfortunately, and this is usually the case with right after playoffs, a lot of us casters get, I don't want to say sick, but we just get by the end of it, we're exhausted, and it is kind of I guess you could say a lot of us experience what would feel like a cold, or just simply being exhausted, tired, exhaustion. I certainly felt that way after the kind of playoffs that we just had here for the MPL Philippines, and I considered it like basically I don't know, like an exhaustion cold. Like, I didn't have a full-blown cold, but I was definitely not feeling great afterwards, and I was, I had a little bit of sipo and I had a little bit of a cough. My voice is a little bit still kind of messed up. It's not back to completely normal. So yeah, it took me a couple days. I took some days to rest, and I know some of the other casters did this as well. But some of us have been casting online. So a couple days ago, I started casting online for the Mekong MWI qualifiers. As I'm filming this right now, we have our last cast for it in a couple hours starting. That'll be the grand finals for their women's MWI qualifier. So, it's been pretty hectic. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure some of you guys saw the whole Pusuan and Loroan clips go around for the balloon show that I was on over here. So that's been a whole nother thing where I essentially had to go ahead and, manage the social media that was blowing up. And I honestly still haven't gone through everything, but I've really tried to do as much as I can. And this was definitely a video that I eventually wanted to do amongst all those things happening, where I wanted to go ahead and talk about the playoffs, because I've done the recaps for all the regular season. I definitely want to do a recap for the playoffs. So that's what we're talking about today. First and foremost, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but this was definitely, for me, my personal opinion, my favorite, not only my favorite playoffs, but also what I would say is the best overall playoff experience. As a viewer, as a fan, even as a caster, it was an amazing playoffs. For me, I would literally put this at my number one favorite playoffs of all time. So, and I got my prediction wrong. If you guys watched my prediction video, the grand finalists were correct, but I was voting for Onyx, and there's a picture of me with all the other casters. I'm the only one holding up the Onyx sign, but nonetheless, I said it either way. I was like, whether either of those teams wins, whether it was Team Liquid Philippines or Onyx Philippines, it doesn't matter, because they're both damn good teams, and they're both going to MSC, and one of them is going to win MSC. That's how I feel. So with that being said, we're going to bring it back. We're going to rewind to when the playoffs started. Okay. Yeah, let's go through this. First off, man, I got what I will say is day one and day two. I did not expect day one and day two to be 10 games. I think I should just go ahead and say that, from a caster's point of view, especially at a playoff level, we all come into playoffs with, I feel like, a different level of excitement and energy. I know the fans do too, the players do, everyone does, but especially for the broadcast, we bump it up a notch, And when you go back-to-back days, full games, that already in itself is kind of crazy. If you consider how the previous playoffs have gone and everything else, doing 20 games in 2 days was crazy. There was a potential that we could have had 30 games in 3 days, but day 3 was a day of sweeps. So But still, it was funny because the day of sweeps, where we technically ended early, was a payday Friday in Metro Manila. And we were like stuck in the venue anyway. Like I couldn't even book a grab going back to the Airbnb, you know? So it's like, it's not like we got to rest early. Um, but anyway, so day one was exciting. All the days were, all the days were exciting here. Day one, Onyx Philippines versus Twisted Minds. This was pretty close, man. I almost was worried for Onyx Philippines, and I knew that Twisted Minds would bring some very fun things to the playoffs, and that they did. We got to see some of the unique picks that they like to bring. They started with the Ling and everything else. They even brought the Faramis and stuff like that. They made the Tigreal work again, who a lot of teams don't use it. Onyx Philippines did the same thing. They had a very interesting draft. I would say overall in the playoffs, we had a very interesting meta form that was slightly different from what we saw in the regular season. But these were rather long games, man. Like imagine, Onyx almost swept here, but then there's a long ass 28-minute game where Twisted Minds brings it back into the series. They win the next one, another 27-minute game, and then the ending was like, yeah, Onyx Philippines just like, all right, thumbs up, guys, let's do this, let's end it in 12 minutes. So that was pretty fun. That was a really fun series to start things off. And then, of course, we went over to Team Falcons and TNC Pro Team. And same thing. I thought Team Falcons might end up getting beat here because TNC brought that first blood in the series. And then, we see Falcons win 2 in a row. Then it trades again. And this is what I liked. Like, overall, the game times, there were some longer games, and then there were some quicker games, what we were used to in the regular season. It was a good mix of things here, but Falcons ultimately survives that. So after day one already, these 10 games, it was insane. And it was, it sucks that we had to say goodbye to 2 teams right away, but that's how the playoffs are. We go over to day 2. Again, banger of a day. This day I was on the panel, by the way, so I wasn't casting this. Me and Renmar were on the panel. That was a whole fun time. That was my only time on the panel in the playoffs. Very enjoyable. I always enjoy it when I do get a chance to go ahead and kind of like panel host. I'm not like, guys, I'm not going to pretend like I'm not the most analytical caster guy. Like I can't give you the numbers and the stats and everything like that, the percentages on every little thing. I can't. Like that's just not my strength. But what I do like doing is yapping and talking. And so when I get to do the panel host, or obviously like anchoring when I'm on the desk, I really, really enjoy that role. So if you guys were curious, there are roles for all of us casters. We fit a specific role whenever we're activated. So yeah, that's, if you guys didn't know, we're not all just kind of like there talking, you know what I mean? We all serve a purpose. But yeah, going for this was great. Like I said, the 2 fan bases too were electric inside the venue, the championships arena, and it was just really good. I mean, Aurora almost won. They had a special guest as well. If you guys know who I'm talking about, I surely don't. But yeah, Onyx Philippines ends up winning. Like, think about it. Think how many times Onyx Philippines like had to clench their way through this, which is crazy because when they get to the upper bracket final, Onyx sweeps Liquid. Like that was the crazy thing. That was the surprise of the upper bracket final. Not much to say about these. I mean, you guys watched these playoffs. It's just overall like my sentiments of these matches were, again, they were so good because this was also the story about this was the rematch of season 14's grand final with between Aurora and Onyx, and then the rematch of season 13's grand final between Falcons and Team Liquid, So that was really cool that we had that in one day where it was like this trip down memory lane, if you will. So Falcons gets beat down here, and then we get Onyx and Liquid for the upper bracket final. Then the 4th day, this was the... Oh no, sorry, the 3rd day. The 3rd day was the day of the sweeps, where we had the upper bracket final, which I was surprised this was a sweep because they were rather quick games too. And I just felt like everybody was like, dude, what happened to Team Liquid that day? And I don't know, like Onyx Philippines was just locked in. They were just locked in. They had quick games. They were very decisive in the draft, and they even brought out that Angela combo there, and it ended up working out really well for them. They got a sweep. And same thing, we had a sweep with Team Falcons versus Aurora. I think a lot of people were thinking the same thing with Aurora here. like they were with Team Liquid. But unfortunately for all the Aurora fans, this was an elimination match, and people were like, "Oh, what the helly?" You know, what the helly? That's been all over my feed lately. So, but yeah, it's like 18 minutes and then a 12-minute game, right? And then a 16:51 game. Like these were just, it was crazy. Like I don't know what happened to Aurora here, but I know it sparked a lot of conversation about Aurora and maybe some of the changes that they can make, because they had one hell of a regular season, and I think, you know, they get to the playoffs and it's like, damn, they really lost the light, you know. So then we go to day four. Day four, this was the whatchamacallit, lower bracket finals. This was a best of 7. I like that we have this, by the way, guys. I'm glad that we have best of 7 like semifinals now, because I think that was just last season that we started that. And it's just that one match, and this was great. I mean, it was a 4-2. This was pretty crazy. I wasn't working this day. I think this was my only day off, so I was really resting here. But yeah, I just remember it was crazy because, you know, you have this back and forth. You have one long game, and then all of them are pretty average, around the 15, 16 minute mark average time, I think, for this series or whatever. So, but this was just overall a great match. Team Liquid, I feel like, really had to dig down. Because it looked a little spicy for them. I think either way, though, if it was Team Falcons or Team Liquid, we would have had a great grand final. But for the plot, for the story, for our predictions, Team Liquid goes forward to the grand final. You guys know all this already. That's why I'm not going into like super specific detail here. Grand final was awesome. Again, going into this day, I was kind of already feeling a little bit the exhaustion. You guys got to remember too, like, you know, we have rehearsal day. The rehearsal day was quite long, and then we go boom, 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 all in a row, where most of us casters might get a day off, some don't. And like the matches might start at, what time do they start? I think they started at like 2 p.m. or something. I forgot what time they started. Afternoon, best of afternoon and evening. But we're there like 3-4 hours before. So usually if we finish late at night and then we get home late at night, you basically shower, you sleep, you wake up the next morning, and you go again, you know. So that's kind of how it is for 5 to 6 days, and that's why a lot of the casters are, you know, they're digging deep into the energy that they have in their bodies. I know I am. Maybe it's just my age. I don't know. But jokes aside, the grand final was awesome. We honestly couldn't have asked for a better grand final. Anytime you get 6 or 7 games in a grand final, I consider that a successful, fun to watch experience for the viewers, for the fans, for the coaches and everybody else, and even for us casters. As long as we get 6 to 7 games, as long as you get 6, really, you're like, damn, okay, that's a good grand finals. But what makes it even better is how the games were individually here, right? And I know a lot of people have already gone and rewatched this and done their analysis on it, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you guys one thing. Game 5 was badass. And if you guys want to watch any game aside from the game winning grand final, go watch game 5, because, you know, that in itself was like a holy moly moment. And I guess you should just watch the whole series, because, you know, like, it adds to the gravity of game 5. But yeah, it was awesome, man. Like, and like I said, either way, I was rooting for Onyx Philippines, at least in my predictions and on the desk. But I knew that either of these teams would put up a good fight, get the dub. And it's great too that Team Liquid PH, in a way, they have had now their story of, you know, coming back in. Oheb's on the team. They performed so well through the regular season. They probably have, I would say, I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments. Do you think Team Liquid's jacket is better than the Onyx jacket? Because this is like battle of the drip, bro. Like, I have the Onyx one. I really want the Team Liquid on, but I'm thinking about it right now. But it's just funny because, yeah, Team Liquid PH comes through and they get the win here, and the story was good. But like, this is the other funny thing. Look at Sanford, bro. What did Sanford do? All series, glue. He's not even Sanford at this point. He's just glue. Like, how often would you see this? Sanford had to be tired of playing glue, man. I don't know, but uh, again, it was great to see this series, just phenomenal grand final. Not only that, but we also broke records with this grand final. So this is a really important statistic right now, because again, we know what people say about MLBB and the MPL scene and everything. And yes, there is the drama going on right now, guys, about the whole, medal situation and all that stuff. And people have asked me about it. To be honest, guys, I don't really care that much. I mean, yeah, it would be nice if our players got something a little bit nicer, I guess. But like, I don't even know what I would say like that should be. So if I don't really know about like, oh, the medal or the trophies could be better. Like in my mind, they already got quite a bit more than they used to in the past. And I'd like to think that like, what do the players like? Do the players actually? What do the players think? Like I guess that's what I want to know. Like, what do the players think? I know some retired players have shared their thoughts about it online or on their streams, and that's fine. Like everybody's, everybody's opinion is valid. But again, it's just not something that I really think about, because I was so engrossed in the matchup, the play style, the quality of the play. And to me, that showcase of all these people watching, by the way, like these numbers right here, and all these people tuning in to the best region in the world and seeing this type of MLBB play is a bigger impact and more what I would take more pride in as being a fan, a part of, or a player, or even as a caster of the MPL Philippines. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna go and like shit on the medals or the trophies. I don't know. I guess that's just, it's not something because I've had trophies and medals in my past too for sports and things that I've accomplished, and I've never really given a thought like, I wish this was freaking gold, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess that's just me. Everybody's different. But when people ask me about my opinion about it, I just don't have much to say about it. Because again, I'm just really proud that we're here a part of the MPL Philippines. And, sometimes I wish the fans would also take pride in that and not be so critical on things, because like some stuff is good to give criticism about. Trust me. The people behind the production of the MPL Philippines do notice the constructive criticism, I should say. So if you guys have some input or something to say, definitely keep it constructive, be positive. Don't lead it with toxicity, because that's just going to get ignored. You know what I mean? And then it just fuels the fire. But the production definitely gives their effort and tries to improve, I feel like, every single time. I honestly feel like the playoffs this time, like, the graphics were better. I like the graphics better. I like the fonts that they were using. I personally liked the venue and the stage. Like, they made improvements from last season. So for me, that's my opinion. But yeah, overall, this was an amazing grand final. I mean, 1.8 million peak viewers is insane for the MPL Philippines, because it wasn't seasons ago when people were like, yeah, MPL PH is dying, and like the viewership is dying, and like all this, and like I don't know. I just think, again, we're 5-time world champions, guys. Have some pride in that, and people come and watch us for the best MLBB gameplay there is, for our players, for our coaches, and that's exciting, right? Because what that also essentially means is if you guys think further than just the game, that's more opportunities for our players, for the coaches, for the analysts out there that are Filipino, for their families. Like, it's so much bigger than just medal shit or trophy with shit or like production shit. Like, people tuning in to the best region in the world is what really matters, because again, it's showcasing our players, and it's giving them opportunities. Think how many players and coaches and people involved have gone to different countries, gotten paid good salaries, and made it successfully, and are able to help their families back at home in the Philippines. So I know that's a little tangent on that, but I've been asked about that quite a bit in my socials and stuff, and even on a Q&A that I did on Instagram recently. So that's what I have to say about it. Nonetheless, amazing grand finals. Also, this number right here is really nice to see. The English viewer peak was over 400,000 for the people that have been watching English for a long time, we appreciate you guys. Like, we thank you guys because we know that Filipino is always going to be the mainstream. It's always going to be the Tagalog stream that is the main focus. We're in the Philippines. Dapat Tagalog na lang kayo, and dito kayo sa Philippines. You know what I mean? Like, so we appreciate you guys on the English desk that come and watch it, and we have a lot of fun over there. And to see that we hit 400,000 peak viewership on English is great, because for a regional tournament, MPL Philippines, that is a really, really good metric to have, right? Obviously, when we go to the international events, a lot of the main focus is on the English broadcast, because that becomes the main broadcast. But for the MPL Philippines being a regional tournament here, this is a great number to have, right? So again, thank you guys. We appreciate you as someone that is a mainstay on the English desk. I don't get to go to the Tagalog desk. Yeah, thank you guys, because we love to have you guys interacting with us and everything else. So thank you very much for that. But yeah, let me go ahead and switch this back over. So that is going to wrap up the playoffs recap. The playoffs recap. Season 15 is officially done and dusted. It's over. It was a really, really fun season, I would say. This was one of my favorite seasons. We also tried some things during the broadcast and everything else. We experimented a little bit. I was also primarily a different role than I usually am. Instead of going 50-50, I was about 90% of the time an anchor, and it allowed me to go ahead and hone in on my skills in anchoring as a caster. And I'm always looking to try to improve in whatever way possible. So that was very fun. It was a very fun season to do. We got to see a lot of growth from the other casters, on both languages. And yeah, it's crazy that the season's over, because it felt like it was really fast. It felt like it went by really fast. Playoffs, as well as tiring as it was a phenomenal time. And again, I think we're just in really good hands, guys, for MSC. So you guys can share your thoughts down below in the comment section. Comment a little bit also about, maybe I'll do a separate video. I'll probably do a separate video about the balloon show experience, because I know a lot of people have actually subscribed recently over here on the channel because of that. And I've been getting a lot of questions about it. So maybe at some point I'll go ahead and do something like that too. But I wanted to get this recap video out for playoffs, so that at least I could share my thoughts with you guys as I have for the whole season. So the next focus right now is to go ahead and rest a little bit. We're gonna take some time, because we've got about a month or so of downtime, as I like to say it. My parents are going to be visiting also for a little bit, so I'm going to go be spending some time with them. And then, of course, as everybody knows, the next big major thing to focus on is MSC at EWC. I would like to do some content over here on YouTube to go ahead and do kind of like a quick pocket type guide thing for the teams competing in EWC, just so that it's there and, people can go ahead and catch up. I just got to go ahead and conceptualize that and see if I can execute it in time. I did this way back, kind of like a experimental version of this with I think it was MSC before. So we'll see if we do that. But again, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here, guys. We're just about the right time, 23 minutes or so. I thank you guys for all joining the recaps throughout the season. It's something I still want to do and maybe improve on next season. I kind of like doing these one take, one shot, low editing. It's my style. It's really how I just am in general. I like to improv things and kind of just go, and see how it turns out. So I appreciate you guys watching this. Again, thank you to all the new subs. Please do leave your comments down below about the grand finals or the playoffs in general. And yeah, thank you guys for your support. I hope we can continue to grow the channel. We'll be doing some vlogs really soon though too, and there's gonna be some special guests that you guys would probably like to see. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for me, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. We will see you guys in the next video.